What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Bulls Report. Hopefully, all of you guys are enjoying your 4th of July weekend. But coming up on today's show, I want to get some positivity out there because a lot of Bulls fans are being negative for right reason. I am probably the most negative Bulls fan out of everybody, but there is one shining light on this Bulls team, and that is Matas Buzelis. I'm just going to be doing a deep dive on today's show as why I think he is going to shock the NBA world this upcoming season and potentially be one of the faces of the NBA and the Chicago Bulls franchise. But before we start, if you guys want to show Matas Buzelis some love, go down there and hit that thumbs up icon. He's a young kid. He's been streaming a little bit on some platforms, so maybe you'll see this show. So if you guys want to show Boozy some love down below, just go down there, hit that thumbs up icon. Let's see if we get to 1,000 likes on today's video. All right, so while we're kind of talking about Buzelis here, so he posted this on his Instagram story a couple of weeks ago, and he looks absolutely yoked, man. I mean, this was a guy coming in the league. He had a bit of a slimmer frame, but I don't really have any concerns about him being able to put on weight because he's kind of got a capital T build where he's got super broad shoulders, comes in tight around the hips, but the arms look absolutely jacked for Buzelis, which is great news because I've talked about, if he wants to just take that game to the next level, get to those bump fades a little more, put some more pressure on the rim, him adding more weight on his frame will be huge. And I do want to just throw this question out there, and it's something I've been thinking about. Like, how high is Buzelis' ceiling? Because I have kind of said I think his max potential is him maybe being a second option on a championship team. But I almost think that's maybe a little disrespectful. Like, could he potentially be a first option on a championship team? He's got the work ethic. He's got the frame. He's got the athleticism. Like, he has every box you would want to check out a potential superstar in the NBA. And again, this may sound crazy talking about superstar as a guy who only played 18 minutes a game during his rookie year, but he showed some incredible flashes. So I want to give kind of two comps for Buzelis. I think defensively, he could be very similar to Evan Mobley, where Evan Mobley's that big wing who can guard fours. He can even guard some fives in certain spots, but he can switch on the guards at a very high level. They both have super long wingspans. They both move laterally very, very well. So I could see Buzelis potentially being a guy like Evan Mobley defensively. And if he could, already he would be a plus NBA player. Because if you're an Evan Mobley level of defender, he was second in DPOY voting this past season for a reason. So I could potentially see Buzelis being a guy like that. But offensively, how about a little Franz Wagner? In terms of just a big wing, 6'10", can handle the ball pretty well. They both kind of have this same pickup dribble, where if you guys saw this past season, Buzelis would just pick it up, go over the top of a guard, trying to help on weak side, trying to smack down on the ball. But then he would just have a nice little pickup dribble, get to the rim. I think the question, though, with Buzelis is can he add the mid-range game that Franz has? Because Franz can get to that little bump fade, take a little side step, just rise over the top, get to that same release point every single time. So that would be a big question mark for Buzelis, but I think he will. Now, if you guys see the numbers from this past season, he was obviously not a elite mid-range shooter. 23.5% on pull-up midi field goal percentage this past year. Didn't do it on a high volume, but I think that's something. He's got a very solid jump shot. He's got good form. I could see him developing that very, very nicely. And if he does want to take that extra step, taking this 36.1%, that can get up to 40 on catch and shoot 3-point opportunities. That would be huge. Obviously, he's fantastic at getting to the rim, less than 10 feet. Free throw line down 56.2% this past season. But I do think Buzelis adding a mid-range game would be absolutely massive for his game because, even we saw a hyper athlete plays, these two play totally different styles of game, but Anthony Edwards in the playoffs this past season, he was either he had no in-between game where it's like, hey, I'm either attacking the rim, I'm putting pressure on it, or I'm getting to that three-point shot, but he really didn't have a mid-range game, and I do think that is incredibly valuable nowadays. It may not be valuable in the regular season since the regular season for the NBA is kind of just a math game right now, who can take the most threes, and hopefully it equates to wins at the end of the day. But still in the postseason, when the game slowed down and you just need to go toss the ball to your best player, having a mid-range game is huge. If I was Buzelis, I'd be watching maybe a little Kevin Durant, because he is just taller than a lot of these guys that are guarding him. He can just shoot over the top. So I see some Mobley defensively. I see some Franz offensively. But I'll ask you guys this. Who is your pro comp for Matas Buzelis? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. I kind of like mine. Evan Mobley defensively, offensively Franz Wagner. But you guys let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Now we'll talk about Buzelis a little bit more here in a second. But if you guys want to get 2 Bulls t-shirts for $20 off right now, we got a link for you, chatsports.com/Bulls combo. Normally these two are $49.99, but right now they're $29.99. So if you guys want to take advantage of this deal, click this link in the comment section and description of today's show, chatsports.com/Bulls combo. Now, if this isn't already obvious enough, and it probably is in the Bulls organization, which is a positive sign, but I think the Bulls should be building around Buzelis. And, again, I think Giddey right now is the best player on the Bulls. No disputing that. I mean, the man almost averaged a 20-point triple-double post-All-Star break. He's a good basketball player, best player on the team. But I do think at some point next season, Buzelis can kind of take the reins and be like, yeah, I'm the number one guy. I'm the face of the franchise. And, again, if you look at the raw numbers, you probably think I'm crazy. But, again, he showed flashes in certain spots this year. Like, I remember that behind-the-back dribble he put on Luka Doncic where he tossed it behind his back, completely lost him, got to the rim, dunked on it, and you just saw those certain plays this season. Even that one game against Miami, he had that pickup dribble over the top of Nikola Jovic, got straight to the rim. Like, you saw it in certain spots with Buzelis. So even though he only averaged 8.5 points, 3.5 boards, 1 assist a game, I can still see him becoming a potential all-star in the league. And I do think it's going to come down to Buzelis. Can he take that step as a playmaker? Because, like I was saying with Franz is a very good playmaker. He navigates that pick and roll very well. He gets a guard on his back, and he can just kind of slow play it. And then if he can get to the rim, he'll take it, but he can also spray out the open shooter. So I'm hoping the Bulls run Buzelis a lot more pick and rolls this upcoming season. But I thought this was interesting. Left corner, Buzelis was spraying this past year, 46% from downtown. But right corner, struggled a little bit, 24%. So hopefully he can even that out and maybe maintain that left corner three-point percentage as well. But his on-off numbers for the Bulls this past season, offensive rating, 112, solid. Defensive rating, 113. Now, I think the defensive rating was obviously low because the 4 guys he was playing around him, he's got to pick up a lot of the slack. The guys like Josh Giddey, Kobe White, and Nikola Vucevic are, none of those guys defend at even a serviceable level. So his net rating ended up being a negative 1.8, but still think he'll be a plus guy when it's all said and done his NBA career. And this was also in very, very limited action. And I understand the NBA this past season, the final 4 teams were all led by guards. Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, Ant, and SGA. But I still think the NBA is a wings league. And at the end of the day, having a guy who is 6'10", can play both sides of the ball, I think that is absolutely massive. And especially if Buzelis can take that step up as just being a primary creator, that's the next step of his game. So my year 2 expectations for Buzelis. I think best case scenario, he makes an all-star game and an all-defensive team. And again, this is best case scenario where he's maybe averaging 25-5 at the all-star break. He ends up making a weak Eastern Conference. Then when it's all said and done at the end of the year, we're looking at him maybe averaging 3-4 stocks per game. He can make an all-defensive team. He obviously is a freak off-ball, freak on-ball. And I do think the worst-case scenario, like the graphic we just showed of the raw stats, he just averages the same. Now, he shouldn't just because he will have a huge uptick in just his minutes per game, his shots per game, his usage rate. But I do think a worst-case scenario is he just replicates his rookie year and we're like, where was the jump? We really saw no improvements. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's probably going to be maybe in between this, where I could see Buzelis maybe averaging like a 17-5-5. Maybe he'll make, second team all defense. Probably won't make an all-star game. But then that year 3 breakout, I would be assuming Buzelis could be an all-star. But if you guys made it to the end of today's show, hit me with a C-Red down below in the comment section. Appreciate all of you guys for watching. And we'll see you guys next time. Go Bulls.